I just watched this video, Genius Shortcut to 4,000 watch hours on YouTube, and I thought, could I take the ideas that he's talking about here and run them through a GPT, an automation of sorts, and get to 4,000 watch hours myself? Now, he talks about the idea of titles and hooks and thumbnails being good, but there's something else that you can do, and he encapsulated all the information in this video. So I thought, can I take that information, reverse engineer it into a ChatGPT workflow and execute it myself on any topic I like? Hi, I'm Happy Dave, and we're going to reverse engineer this three-step formula from the video. Now, if you've been paying attention to this series, you know that I'm in the middle of creating some software for automating the different GPT workflows that I do. And often I start off from this architecture where I design them. And we have this concept of a objective and an idea that we would like to automate with GPT. The simple workflow here is that I can list the steps, organize them, come up with some ideas. So vidIQ have already come up with a formula for doing the hooks or the bridge that transitions a video from one video into the next video, and I would love to understand that formula so that when I'm recording a video I can transition people into the next video myself. Now, to get started, what we need to do is get everything that was said in this video, and under every video there's a description, and if we click on there and expand it, what we should be able to come down and find is the show transcript button. So we'll click on that. And now every word that was said and the time it was said is showing over here on the right. What we'll do is we'll just click on this little button and we'll toggle off the timestamps because they're not that relevant for us. Then we'll go to the very top and drag to the bottom, and I've just copied it into the clip. I've come over to the agent workflow builder, and in particular I've gone to a workflow I use whenever I'm launching a video because it's going to be really useful with the transcript. So when I'm preparing a video, I'm trying to build things like YouTube descriptions, thumbnails, titles, etc. And one of the areas I can deal with is abridging the transcript. This is about shortening it. So I'm just going to go over to this transcript field and put it through this prompt. So we just click on copy here, bring up a GPT, and we're just going to paste everything in. So what we're looking at right now is the transcript from the vidIQ video merged in with an instruction to give us just the raw information in detail. So it's all coming through right here. We are already at the first benefit of this process alone. So we've taken a 5-minute video and we've boiled it down into the key components that matter to me, and I can read it in about 30 seconds. So in it, he talks about the bridge, a curiosity hook, and the promise of transformation. This is all about moving from one video to the next video in the series. Now, a problem when I look at this is that I've watched the video and there may be a couple of details that are missing from this abridgment. So let's just take this one step further. I've copied that response and I'm just going to move on to the next step that I use myself. That's taking the original transcript from vidIQ, the abridgment that we've just created, and doing a quality assurance check on. I'll pop up the prompt or the chat window we've been working on. I'll just paste this in, and if there's anything in the original transcript that I don't have in my abridgment, we're going to at least have it clarified. Whether we need to do anything with it is up to us. So when we look at the differences between the transcript and the abridgment, the first one, a mission of the game-changing strategy, is really only his own emotional hook to keep us engaged in the video. So this is not adding value to the process. But when I looked through the next three, the missing emotional appeal, details on viewer engagement, and repetition for emphasis, especially the fact that it gave some examples, I thought these would be interesting. Now, they're not part of the main process. There were 3 points to the main process, but they're certainly guidelines or points of interest that would be really useful for any GPT or prompt that you're writing to know about. So I think we want to include those bits of information. Now, as I moved through and I looked at the other 4 going on here, I thought they're great, but they don't really add any value to the process. Again, they're more about creating engagement for the person watching the video. So I've just taken that information and I've put in a prompt that says, can you ensure the abridgment includes information on, I've said, can you include 3 pieces of extra information, mostly guidelines and points of interest, and the original abridgment. Hopefully what we're going to get is a 3-point abridgment plus some extra guidelines, and this is going to be really useful to us as we build out our workflow. It's done a great job. It's kept the 3 sections. It's just given a little bit more depth and nuance to the information. So with this, we can go and copy all of that information, because this is going to be seed information into our new GPT workflow. Now, I've just brought us over to the Agent Workflow Architect, and this is where I'm building the different workflows in the GPT Builder. We'll click on the workflow objective. What we need is a simple idea and a goal. Now, because we already had a lot of rich context from what we've been doing so far, I've just asked for the idea. So we'll paste that in here, and we'll create a goal, paste it in here, press copy. I think we will start a new ChatGPT window and paste the information in. What we're looking for is just an objective for this agent workflow. So that looks very clean to me. We'll copy it, and we'll just move to the next step in the workflow, which is getting a list of steps that we might want to do. And we'll press copy on that and paste it all in, and see what list of steps it thinks we need to do to get this. What we've got here is a list of 7 steps that seem to make sense when you're doing a bridge from one video to another. Now, in the workflow tool, when it's fully operational, you will click this little button for start, and those steps that we just saw will show up in the steps list attribute. And I'm going to have capabilities to modify, merge, delete, or add to that. But for now, what we'll do is head back to the GPT that we've got, and I've just put in a little prompt to say merge the first 2 steps because they are one. I like the next 3. I want to drop this one here, and I just want to rename this one to quality assurance. So we'll just run that, and we'll get a new list of steps. We'll just move on to the next workflow, which takes the step list. The idea is to convert it into a hierarchy. So we can click on copy here, we'll paste it in, and we'll let it run through. I only want one phase called YouTube Outro Bridge. In this case, it's not a complex enough workflow to need multiple phases just with one step in each of them. So we'll do it this way, and we're going to copy this information in, move on to the next step. This is where we're going to come up with some workflow name ideas, like what are we going to call it? Press copy and paste the information in, and hopefully we're going to get some good names that we can call the workflow by. I've liked the first one. I've just tapped on the word YouTube to the beginning of it. Now I think we can build a specification, and this is how all the steps will fit together and the sorts of information we need to collect along the way. So we'll just press copy, and we'll just paste the information in. We have our workflow specification with the phase we're in is the YouTube outro bridge. There are 3 steps involved with descriptions, and we've got some inputs. Obviously the video content, what I'm going to call the transcript or the abridgment, is going to come through, and it's going to pull out key themes. Using various bits of information we'll collect along the way, we'll get the final outro. Now everything we collected for the YouTube outro booster is now visualized as a workflow with content analysis, writing an outro script, and just checking the script and putting some cue points. So if I just want to talk about it without narrating, I can do that. Now I did skip a little section because it won't be needed in the final product, but if you were interested in how it created an automation script to automatically create the particular pages we're seeing, with areas for the content analysis, writing the outro script and the cue points, then you can look at the last video which talked about this file structure. Let's test this out by actually creating an outro. The irony is that the outro that we're creating is for the last video to point to this video. So the next video goal will be this workflow will help you get 4,000 watch hours quickly. The transcript to the last video, which is going to have this outro, is here. So we'll copy, paste it straight in here, and we'll click copy. So I've run that prompt, and down the bottom I've got the key themes from the video that I want the outro on, and they're all listed here. There's information about the bridge, the curio hook, and the transformation promise. Just copy the information, go back to our application and paste in the content analysis with the next video. Copy this, and we'll see what sort of outro script we'll get. And here we have it. Now, if you've seen how domain-specific languages can streamline your YouTube launch strategy, imagine taking that to the next level. What if you could achieve 4,000 watch hours faster than ever? So this is a pretty good outro script. If I don't like that, I might be able to do a refresh and a better one might come together. Now that you've learned how to create seamless transitions between your videos using agent workflows, let's take it a step further. What if your thumbnails could capture the same level of precision and engagement? In the next video, I'll take you through an agent-driven workflow for designing thumbnails. The idea being that you can create compelling visuals, emotion capturing text, and a layout and system that'll get people clicking on those thumbnails and watching more of your videos. So stay tuned for the next video, and please like and subscribe or drop a comment down below if you want to learn more about GPT workflows. I'm Happy Dave. See you in the next video.